Oh, I should have finished by now. Hey, there we are. I hope you can hear me. My name is Jason Holmes, and I'm from Raconteurs News. Not been on for a few weeks. Mostly, I've been ill. My hands, I've not been able to do anything with my hands. Nothing at all. Not even, I mean, fucking skinning up's like a major thing. So I've not been able to do it with my hands. So good evening to you all who's in the chat room. Heath Dweff, Thomas Tierney, Ron Malcolm, Spanish Chicken, Nuki Brown. Good to hear you. Good to see you as well. I did notice people that had posted in the comments on some of the videos, and I noticed Nuki Brown had posted on there as well. So thanks for that. Thanks to everybody that were worried about me, but honestly, you know, when your hands won't do fuck all, they won't do fuck all. And then I had this on Tuesday. I went to pick up my new leg. Now, in order to get your new leg, you have to like stand up and hold yourself up with your hands. And my hands were fucking fucking killing me. But I got my new leg on Tuesday, so as soon as this hand thing goes, then I'll be back on. But I'll be back on anyway. I've got a few guests lined up beforehand. Before this fucking shit happened. So I've got Ben Emily Jones on because apparently the day after that we did the Flat Earth, remember the Flat Earth show? Ben Emily Jones had the guy on the following night, so we wanted to talk about that, and so I got him lined up, but I just couldn't do. There was just no way I could do it. And to be honest with you, there's not really. You know, I won't be able to do it with him now properly, and yeah, how we would want it to be. Have you had the vaccine? No, I've not had the vaccine. Not even a ham shank. No, can't do that. No, I can't do that due to penises and hands. Why the God made Laura skin up for you? Now Laura's too far away, and we don't really want it. Look, I can skin one up, but it really hurts. Fucking, I mean, it's like fucking, honestly, right up to me, elbow my bones. It's all fucking. It's all doing it, and that's why I've not been on, and I really apologise because I wanted to be on. I wanted to come on. I wanted to talk about, you know, like things that have happened. But I mean, I don't even see things that happen now. I don't know whether we're on fucking lockdown or what. I went to doctors the other day, and they got this fucking. I've not got it with me, but they've got this they've got this poster on the wall that said, if you want a video in here, you've got to ask for permission from the head nurse, and you've got to ask everybody permission and all this sort of thing. And so I took a picture of that anyway. So I've got that. I'll put it up as soon as I can. Look, like I said, tonight's just to come on, just because, you know, there's been certainly A lot of people thinking that, you know, I'm fucking probably brown bread, and I'm not. I had somebody put, please give us fucking proof of life on one of my videos. So I put a kiss on there because that's really all I could do. So no, I just wanted to do tonight's show. Just wanted to do a show just to let everyone know that I'm still here. I'm still good. I know we've lost a few people since last time we were on. We lost Ian Crane. I know that. I know people know. People know what I think about what I thought about Ian Crane, but it's sad to hear that he's died. I bless him, and I hope I give him. I bless him on his forward journey, shall we say? Because God, for fuck's sake, if you have to come back here, you have to fucking come back here. I mean, the people say that, don't they? They said that. They said that. I had a fucking somebody on show, and they said that you know when you're nearly dead, and your life flashes past you, it's because you're going back. You're going back to fucking start again. And I think to myself, God, for fuck's sake, I really hope not. What a fucking pile of crap that'd be. Well, for me anyway. I mean, if for other people it might be great, but just for me, it just seems like something that I'm not really, party to. Stewie, anyways, put you're looking well, me old mucker. I think that's probably me because I'm the only one you can see. Yeah, thank you very much. Look, I am feeling okay. It's just these hands. These hands are just cut. If you do, even 2 days ago, if you'd said to me, just all you could do is just type this. I couldn't have done it because it just hurts so much. It hurts so much. I've got a nurse coming tomorrow that's giving me a vitamin 12 injection. Hopefully that'll make things just a little bit better. What is it? Jason says, Dinny. I don't know. Nobody knows. They don't know. They're running the nails over it. They're trying to find out what it is using different things. I've had magnesium. I'm on magnesium supplements, which I've been on for 6 or 7 weeks. And this is the first time that because I thought I needed a vitamin, a B12 injection. I thought I needed one, and they said no, you don't need one. Then now they've said they want one. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's good. We're all good. But I just said that this is reasons why I've not been doing any shows. I've got to get me and Ben Emlyn Jones are going to be talking about the last guest that I talked about. See, we're going to be he'd interviewed him the day after, so I thought it might be a good idea for us to get together and say and decide between us what we thought. Are you having wholesome, healthy food, sir? I hope I am. I am, really. I'm not really. I'm not really. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not eating bad. Let's just say that. Keep them under 95's put, how is your mental health because of all that? Yeah, I mean, it's gone fucking nuts. It's crazy. My mental health is nuts. I wouldn't even call it mental health. I'd call it fucking mental illness rather than mental health. But what it seems to be to me is that what you got to remember is when you're in a position like I am now. Right, I lost my leg in 2018. Okay, in June of 2018. By October 2018, I'd got a prosthetic on, and by for a few months, I was working well with that prosthetic. In fact, I didn't even take it off until I went to bed. So I'd be using my prosthetic, and then suddenly I've got this problem with my other leg, and I have to have this fucking. Oh, by the way, now what they're saying is right, okay, you're doing so well with this prosthetic is that we're going to give you a different one. It's going to be a suction fucking whatever. It's going to be suction anyway, and it's going to suck onto the bottom of your stump, and then you'll click on your leg, and it'll be a lot better. You'll be able to reset it with your phone. You'll be able to set how much you want it to be able to bend and all that sort of stuff. And they said that this is what we're going to do. But before I get there, before the day that is going to happen, where they're going to change my prescription and do all the measuring and everything, I've got to go in hospital with my other leg, and I have these 2 operations in June. Well, I had 2 operations in June last year. July last year, sometime like that. But so I had one on Thursday, and then that didn't work, and so they decided they were going to do one on Saturday, which were great because when I came out, I went into the area where you're recovering, and there were nobody else in there because it's Saturday, and I got all the nurses that were just like looking after myself, so that was pretty good. But yeah, it's it's like it does feel like that when I'm going to get somewhere, it goes somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'm just about to get some now. Like just now, I've had all that, and it's all healed up. It's all healed up now. And it's well, and it's good, and it's great, and now my hands have gone. Now I've got no fucking. I've got no. What's the word? I've got no reassurance that my arms are going to hold me up. And so, I get this new leg, and it's not a new leg as well. They put me back on an old fucking leg. But anyway, listen, if you want to join in, why don't you? I'll pop the. I'm sorry. I've been such a long time away. I know it's been a long time, but hopefully, everything's going to be. Everything's going to be good, and we're going to start getting better. Look, I'm supposed to be somebody that fucking, that can get through all this. So, what else would it? I think did not what's his face? Alan Watt. Alan Watt? Alan Watt, did he not pass away as well? He was a great, and I never really listened to a lot of his stuff, but as I understand, he was a great orator. Alan Watt, I think his name were. Yeah, I think he passed. I think he passed away as well during the time that I've been away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop it in. There you go. If you want to come on and you want to just talk about something, or you want to say hello or whatever, it's up to you. There's no. It's only Friday night. I'm only come on. I've only decided to come on because I've got so many people saying to me, can you let us know you're okay? And you know what I mean. I just thought that I just should, and fucking. So if you wanna join in, then get yourself on. I can put you on, and we can talk about stuff. We can talk about what's been going on. I've not really been taking much notice about the old coronavirus because, I mean, it don't really mean much to me. You know what I mean? I've been out and I've been to hospital. And I went to hospital, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and as we were going in, she said, "Do you normally wear a mask?" And I said, "No. Who normally wears a mask?" And I went today for a blood test. And they were talking about having the they were talking about having the injection.
Hello.
There we go. Sorry about that. Kim Panda 95. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you? I mean, I know that you've been saying about your health and everything. Just wanted to check in on you.
I can't really hear you or anything.
How's this?
We can't hear you. I can't hear at all. But what I'm saying is that they'd all said they'd had the jab, and one of them had to go home the day that they'd had the jab, and one of them had some, couldn't sleep on it, and had some sort of reaction where it made a lump and everything, and some people were okay, and I just said to him, "Can you hear me? You can hear." So people can hear Kim. Let me jump out, and I'll jump back in. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Are you there, Kim?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, it's weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That I have to go out and come back in. I mean, that's been happening a couple of times. How you doing anyway?
Yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to check in on you because I know that things have been a bit rough,
Oh yeah. They've been rough, but we get through them. We can't. You can't. You've just got to keep going on, haven't you? On and on and on and on and on
Exactly.
and on and on. Yeah. It seems that we've accepted this now. People have accepted it. What do you think?
I think, well, a certain level of acceptance is normal, but I think we need to reset and rethink it all.
What rethink or what? Rethink what? What do we need to rethink?
Well,
I mean, as a mass, we're not going to reset, are we?
yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Oh no, sorry, my TV just started playing by itself.
Fuck's sake. God.
Is that your TV saying, "Oh, for fuck's sake"?
No, that's my
Oh, I'm here, ain't I? Might
yeah.
as well admit it.
With says it's Mr. Howe, Jamie Howe.
Oh, Jamie. Good evening, Jamie. How you doing, mate?
All right, mate. I'm all right. I was vaccinated. Was vaccinated a few weeks ago. That was interesting. Against my will.
Really? You were vaccinated against your will? What happened there? In what way?
Fucking, well, not against my will, but I just to put my family at ease. You know what I mean? I had some side effects like the flu-like symptoms, but a bit of lentic, and I'm still here, still breathing, and
Yeah.
there's been some real shit about the fucking trouble with my partner getting vaccinated. She's been told to shield for. Can I mention it?
Yeah, go on.
She's been told to shield for 6 weeks, and it's caused her mental health to go up the roof, like with mine, because we've been stuck in her mother's flat for the past just over a month now. Got another 2 weeks to go, and they've mocked her about the appointment.
Yep.
It's completely fucking bullshit, to be honest with you. You can't get one thing done without them saying the other thing. Do you know what I mean? Of course you do. But
Yeah.
I mean, it fucks you up in the head. I mean, I've had very little symptoms, as it were. I mean, if they're fucking tracking me, the only thing they're going to find is fucking where I am, like, you know. So what's this thing about Ben reappearing on the show then? I'd actually like to have a word with him at some point.
Ben, well, I'm good. I had got him scheduled to be on the first show that I missed. So
Right.
I got him scheduled to be on. He'd had the Flat Earth guy on the day after I had him on, and I wanted to just sort of compare notes if you wanted, you know. But then again, I got into this situation where I really couldn't do anything, and so as soon as I'm great, good again, then Ben will be back on.
Yeah, because he hasn't really been active on YouTube, has he? I mean, I'm on his Facebook group, because I'm part of that. There's been hardly any posts on there. Oh, right.
Chris, are you there? Sorry, let me just check. Chris, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello, lads. Can you hear me?
Just turn your son down a bit.
Hear myself down a bit.
Yeah, just turn your mic down just a little bit.
I haven't even got a mic, mate. It's just my laptop. Is that better?
All right. Well, that'll do anyway.
All right.
That'll do. But
Is that okay? You're not too loud. Not going to give you nightmares.
You're okay at that level. You're okay at that level. Chuck something into the block, as it were.
Right, I'm going to chuck something totally different in. On Monday night on BBC4, right, there was a programme called $1 Trillion Ireland Garen about historic child abuse in Jersey, right? How to get in, right? There's a programme coming up this Monday on the BBC about historic child abuse in football with the kids in the footy, right? It's all coming out, drip, 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 drip. It's all going to come out about child trafficking, paedophilia. I'm telling you now, it's all coming out, mate. It's only a matter of time.
But don't you think that they're doing this, these things that are coming out, they're coming out at intervals where people are going to have forgotten about one and then they hear about the other one? I mean, that's
yeah,
all.
Yeah. But I understand what you're saying, but it needs to come out, all this, because if anything can bring the world together, it's this. Look at the border now, since if it is Biden, which is not, it's obviously not him. Look at the border now, unaccompanied minors equals child trafficking. I mean, it's a different concept, but obviously you were talking about before, about the mask thing and all that, but I'm in Jersey, right? Obviously, I'm from Liverpool. I've been here 12 years next month. It's a nice place to live, don't get me wrong, but the last 12 months obviously hasn't been easy for anyone. You know what I mean? I left my job, a good job, in November, because he said to me, there's a muzzle. And it had the name of the firm on it, said, I'm not wearing it, lad. I said, I'm not doing it, mate. And he said, I want you to get a test. I said, I'm not doing it. So it is what it is. I'm still out of work since then because I'm not doing none of it. No tests. And definitely no jab. So,
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of people I've seen, I've interacted, shall I say, with a lot of people who took jab. And so far, really, I've had nobody that said that it's made them really.
It's bullshit, mate. It's all bollocks. It's not even a vaccine. It's all bollocks. We're all being played. It's simple. The real pandemic, in my opinion, is child trafficking. The real virus is communism. COVID is the distraction. Because coronavirus has been around for years. That's just my opinion on it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's been around for years. COVID's been around for years, and it's.
But it's coronavirus that have been around for years. COVID certificate of vaccination ID.
Okay.
19, whether that's AI or 19 years after the new be seen, because it reared its ugly head in the West in 2020, 19 years after 9/11, so it remains to be seen. Obviously, I'm going into the 17 letter thing there, but that all remains to be seen. But there's definitely something deeper going on, especially in the States, with the B word, Biden. It's not. Listen, it's Tanzania, the president of Tanzania. I can't remember his name off the top of his head, but one minute he's declining, every next minute he's gone due to COVID. What's that web he's put?
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. I mean, the bloke in Belarus, I think,
Lukashenko in Belarus. He said vodka and a sauna will sort it out. So I'm wondering if they'll take him. I don't think they'll take him out. If they have taken, forgive me, I can't remember his name of Tanzania, but it'd be interesting if they try and take him out, Lukashenko, because he said a few vodkas and a sauna will sort it out. Because it's all bollocks. We all know it's bollocks. I'm not saying it's, if anything, it's a weapon, a bioweapon, because it came from a lab in Wuhan, if anything. But it's all bullshit. Everything's bollocks. Sorry about my language, but it's all bollocks, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're all prisoners of war, if, in my opinion. This is World War III. And there's no doubt because you know, it's not about bombs, you know what I mean? It's about the spiritual war, the war on the conscious mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Go ahead, sorry.
It is a spiritual war, but it's also a war of the mind.
Of course, yeah.
A lot of people, I mean, the 3 people I spoke to today, when I had to go to the hospital to have some blood taken, and they were all talking about the vaccines, and I said, so have you all taken the vaccines? And they said, yeah. And I said, look, there was a virus called HIV that sort of late 70s, early 80s became you know, it became a plague upon gay people. And yet there's no vaccine for it, even though they've had since the late 70s, early 80s. And I said, and you are trusting a vaccine that's been you know, just rushed out. I said, I think that's the only way that you can get through to them. It is because they all look. I saw them, and they all looked and said, well, yeah, you know, that's the point. That
what did they come about in the 80s with AIDS, the gay community? So why was that? What did they come about with AIDS when that came about? It was the gay community, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was gay community. I mean, it was called the gay plague. Let's not get it wrong. It was called the gay plague. It was fucking horrible.
It's bullshit, mate. It's all bollocks, you know what I mean? Where's the cure for cancer? Listen, I was in the doctors. I have to go to my doctors every 6 months, right? To get me loopy pills. Nah, I'm only messing. No, because I'm asthmatic and high blood pressure. So I went to the doctor 30th December, right? And he said to me, you come for your flu jab? And I said, I've never had my flu jab in my life, mate. I said, give it a rest. I've just come because obviously I need to get my blood pressure taken and all that, blah, blah, blah. And he said, would you be willing to accept the COVID jab? And I said, not right now, thank you very much. And his pitch, I mean, if he was on Dragon's Den, you know what I mean, he'd have got one offer, but it wasn't coming from me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? His pitch was out there, and he said, but you might not be able to go home again, you might be able to get on a flight again, you know, because, you know, I like to go away and all that, because I like to go to Europe, blah, 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 he knows that. And I said, well, that's discrimination, isn't it? And he said, well, he said, no, because it's all about keeping people safe. And I said, well, listen, 80 years ago, because I'm on Jersey, right, this was occupied, right, by the Germans, right? And I said, think about where we're going here with this. And he just brushed it off like it was not. And this is my argument with everything now. We need, especially on here, we need to think about where we're going here, on here. Because this is communism, which is everywhere creeping in. Communism is creeping in everywhere. But that's my arguments on this island. 80 years ago it was occupied, right? There wasn't any curfews over here like it was then, but you know, we have been in this BS scenario where with families and all that meeting up and how many can meet up and all that bollocks. It's like Alcatraz at the minute. I could go home tomorrow, but I've got all the isolation bollocks. You know what I mean? I'm sorry about my language, by the way, to everyone, but you know.
No, you're right. It's bollocks. It's absolute bollocks that you can't see your family. You know, you can't go and you can't go and you should be able to go and see fucking. You should be able to go and fucking look up Queen's skirt. So
freedom of movement, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
You
It's
know,
fucking just ridiculous.
We should be able to move freely.
It's ridiculous. We've got ourselves into this. We've done this ourselves.
Well, we all have. We're all to blame. Yeah, that's a great point. That every single one of us are to blame for this, because we've allowed it to happen through the system and through voting and through governments to governments to control us. We know, so we're all to blame. Every single one of us. Even though I've never voted, and you, I don't know if you have, but if there's anyone in chat who hasn't voted. But we're all to blame to this. Every single one of us are to blame for what's going on today, without a shadow of a doubt. We're not victims, because we want to eradicate that word, because that's what the radical left wants. Victims. But we're all to blame for what's going on today. Now, we're not all going to pay for it, because I truly believe, even though believe has the word lie in it, I truly believe that we're all, well, I listen, things can only get better from now. It's simple. It's not going to get worse, because the masses won't stand for it. It can only get better now, mate, I'm telling you. This great reset, Klaus Schwab, you will own nothing and you will be happy. BS. Nah, they're gone. They're long gone. I'm telling you now, 90% of me is thinking we're watching a freak show, not a movie. It's a circus, a freak show. You know what I mean? 90% of me, and the other 10% is thinking, what if?
Here's the other 10%. Come on, Ron.
Hello, Ron.
Hello. How are you?
We're good. We're good. What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I'm banning myself from shops, so I'm running out of shops to go into. Oh, bugger. You know, like Tesco's, I won't go in there because they sent me an email saying you've got to wear a mask. I mean, they're still wearing masks now, but I don't know. I keep saying to people, I must have an immune system that's working about 1,000,000%. I said, because I've never worn a mask. Ever.
Yeah. And yet, they still said to you, go put stick a fucking mask on. What?
Yeah, I don't go in shops. I've lost you.
No, you haven't lost me. Have you lost me?
Yeah, you went a bit quiet. It's all right. You said something and I didn't hear it.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. I was just saying, these shops, I mean, what we're talking about, we're talking about Nazi Germany, aren't we, before World War II?
Yeah, I mean, I go up the local kebab shop just up the top of the road, and I'm really friendly with them, and they don't insist on masks because I said I won't wear one. And I said if you make me wear one, I won't come in. But anyway, they got stickers on the door, and I says, "What's with all the stickers?" And they said the council came and put them in. They said we got to put them in. So I said, "What's all this stuff about being self-employed and owning your own business?" And then the council tell you what to do. Too much of this. I mean, I'd say when I was a cab driver, you know, you're self-employed, but you have to do what the council tells you got to do.
Yeah. Agreed. Completely agree. I mean, there's so much regulation. There's so much regulation these days that you've got to be within certain. You can't even build on your own property without it all being all certified and everything. We've been joined by Webby as well. Good evening, Webby. How are you?
I'm good, mate.
Lad.
I'm good, so I'm good.
Nice grill cover on your thingy there. Nice.
You know what?
We're all being quiet.
And all I would say, you'll never walk alone. But,
Thank you very much. Or
Nice,
Johnson,
you'll never.
nice to come out, Webby. Mate.
Oh dear. Anyway, go on, Dad. Give us your. What's your? I've been out for a long time, as you know, Webby. I've been out for a long time. I'm hoping that this is going to be starting me coming back. But what you've been making and what's been going on?
oh mate, it's absolute insanity, Jason. There's no common sense has completely left the building. Even if you're out in the general public, common sense has gone. There's nothing that you can say to people anymore that will actually be a constructive kind of sentence, because they always want to deconstruct it by talking about pandemics and all this kind of stuff. And the people I speak with, you know, because of not only because of Raconteurs News, but because of other stuff that I've done in the past and the podcast now, I've got connections all over the world that connect me with not only doctors and nurses, but immunologists, biologists, virologists, who all go, this is a lot of shit. So when a virologist says to me that you can't catch a virus, and the doctor told me when I was 8 years old that he's caught a virus, and I say to a virologist, how have I not caught a virus? And basic biology, it's a surface contact bacterial infection. You touch a surface, you pick up food, you eat it, you rub your eye, whatever way it is, it gets in your body, and your immune system goes, oh, there's something not right here. And it responds by creating a virus which acts as a solvent, like soap, to flush the infection out through the kidneys. And I went, that makes too much sense. And she said to me, that's why it isn't advertised on the television. So all of a sudden, I've got a real understanding from being a taxi driver to a real understanding of virology, because a virologist has just told me what it is. Yet a nurse who hands out paracetamol and ibuprofen said, that's a load of shit. I know which one I'm going to go with. If I've got a broken down car and the joint says, that's fucked, you need a new car, the mechanic turns up and says, I can fix that for £40, I'm going to go with the mechanic. And that's how this platform worked out for me. I started, Jason, you know full well, I've been on Vinnie Eastwood's show and I've been on other shows, but Raconteurs News was like the platform where I was going, gas, water and electric are free, and people wanted to call me names about that, but nobody could debate me on it. And it's the same with this now with virology. A virologist says you can't catch a virus, and they explain it in so basic terms that if I'm going to argue that you can, I'm going to look like an idiot. So I don't want to look like an idiot. So people say, well, you can't catch it. Okay, tell me why. That's why. Oh, that makes sense. All of a sudden, we've got a different subject. And it's not the subject that people want to talk about off Sky TV and BBC. It's you've got to start thinking.
You do. You have to start thinking, Ron. What have you got something to say about this? I mean, you've been moving
I
your
was going
fucking thing about all the time. While Webby were talking, you were moving your fucking thing about. So
I was
yeah.
trying to get it. I was trying to get it comfortable.
Okay, go on then. Yeah, have you got it comfortable now?
Well, sort of. That light in the back's not helping, is it?
No, it's all right. No, don't worry. Well, your fans will be able to see your lovely face.
No, you haven't. I'm keeping it covered. No, I was going to say, I usually say to people, think it's a great disease. You ever thought about catching it?
Who said that? Was it like fucking one of them like Chinese blokes that are like
No, it was said by Ron.
Oh right, Ron. Go on, move that thing from behind your head.
So the ones that are having a proxy phone. No, I can't do it. It's not there. How about
Heath is asking in the chat room if anybody's had a really runny poo today or lately.
Had a running poo?
A runny poo. Like,
diarrhea.
No, it was proper solid mine today. Proper solid, tell him.
No, Heath, he didn't. It was proper solid. It was a good one, weren't it?
It was a good one. Yeah,
a
bit of a push.
Would it one of them that touched water before he snapped off?
No, it wasn't. But it could have been. But he had to give it a good push. You know, it was a real enjoyable one.
Well, look, this is the best, isn't it? This is.
I tell you what, Raconteurs News hasn't been on for ages, and now what a shit show it really is. We're showing the shit.
It were quality. Billy Carr said he had one the size of an arm Heath. The size of an arm. So Dinny's like, come on.
Dinny's would have been the size of a Panzer tank, wouldn't it?
For fuck's sake, Dinny, what you're saying is that you've got a fucking arsehole, a ring piece that's like big enough for to extrude an arm.
You know what? He'll start thinking that you're talking about him being gay now, and he'll get upset. Don't start, Jason.
I was going to say, was it like a flock of seagulls taking off when you're in the toilet?
Hey, I'll tell you what. You know what you say about a flock of seagulls, right? When I started off on this journey, or whatever you want to call it, 10 years ago, I was going to Liverpool to meetings, and there's a pub in Liverpool called the Pilgrim. And we were all meeting in there, and we were discussing about different things and that and the other. And the guitarist out of Flock of Seagulls used to always attend that meeting, because part of the case that we were talking about was his divorce, where he provided his missus with a mansion and so many millions, but she wanted so much more. So I'm talking about a 3-bedroom, semi-detached house in our meeting, and then he brings up like several detached mansions and millions of pounds, and he's in the same boat as what I am. So it's weird how all this stuff fits in. From Flock of Seagulls to Jason, I've already talked to you about the Jeremy Bamber stuff, because it's come out on Netflix. And it comes out on Netflix, Jason, and I've got people saying, Jeremy Bamber, what a narcissist. Did you see him on Netflix? Hang on, wasn't there an actor on Netflix portraying a narcissist? Yeah, but that's him. No, that's Netflix. Have you seen the interviews about the new information, blah, blah? That's why I got in touch with you, because it was so Netflix and then matter of fact with people, Jason. And that, where'd you go with that, pal?
Well, I mean that's just going to be one of them stories. I'm afraid that's just we're never going to get a fucking proper. He's going to die before it gets start.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry for interrupting. When I saw that the police transcript stated from my job, if there's an incident going on and there's a log taker, minutes are taken. So every minute something happens, there is something written down. So when there's a police communication established, and in the police log, it states we are communicating with somebody in the house, and then that same police log says Jeremy Bamber then turns up and attends outside, and it's on the police log that he's turned up and attended with doors locked and windows locked from the inside. You're going, that's a doubt. That is one doubt, right? Now, I've been on jury service. If there's a doubt, you must find not guilty. So if that is one doubt, the Home Secretary who said, you're not coming out for life, one of only 10 prisoners or whatever in the country that has been told you'll never get out.
I think
There's a doubt. Sorry, mate.
There's 60. There's about 60 that are full life termers.
Yeah. That have been told that they're never going to get out. Yet, on jury service, if there is one doubt, you must find not guilty. So if there's a doubt in this case, you must at least find grounds for an appeal. And that's not been found. And that shows to me, because I know how corrupt the justice system is, there could be possibilities.
Well, the family members, the family members, the Bamber family, because it was a well-to-do family who got a lot of money, right? And a big part of it was there was the Bamber farm, the Bamber estate, and then there were the caravan park as well, which were involved in it. Now Jeremy was to inherit the entire lot of it. But they didn't like it because he was adopted, so he wasn't actually blood. So he was adopted, so they really didn't like it. So for 6 weeks, the police were treating it as a murder-suicide. Sheila Caffell, Jeremy's sister, who got fucking schizophrenia, and there'd also been a phone call from the farm, from Neville, who was the dad, who ended up dead, saying that Sheila was going mad with a fucking gun. You know, there's all this. So for a while, there was absolutely nothing at Jeremy. Nothing at Jeremy at all. And then suddenly, there's all this, you know.
Well, when you look at it as an adopted son is not only going to take over Neville's land and everything, he's not going to only inherit that, but because Neville Chamberlain loaned money to, what were they called, the Bellflowers or something like that, the cousins of the Bambers, because he'd lent them money for land for them to farm, that would have all come to Jeremy as well. So he was talking like everybody's fucking inheritance was going to come to Jeremy. And then all of a sudden you've got police changing statements, you've got this, you've got that. You've got major questions from such simple beginnings, and yet you've got a Home Secretary who says he's not going out for life. There's something not right about that. There's something not right about landowners, something not right about police and Freemasonry all being mixed up in the same pot, and somebody saying he's not going out for life. There's something not right about that, Jason. You've got to be able to ask those questions, and those questions can't be asked. But the worst thing was that the person who came to me and told me about this, this White House farm murders, blah blah blah, and I watched it on Netflix. What a narcissistic killer he was. I went, hang on, what are you talking about here? You watched Netflix and you saw a narcissistic, yeah. He was a narcissist. I went, you was watching an actor, weren't you? Yeah, but they portrayed him as real. It was a true story. I don't know what to say to that, pal. I'm stuck.
No, there's no you can say, is there? I mean, people are stuck by propaganda, and this propaganda is going to be there forever, and we're never going to get rid of it. Never going to get rid of it. You know, we can all go out without not wearing a fucking mask, or doing what we want. You know, and there's still going to be some cunt there that wants to impede upon your life. So they want to impede upon. Can you imagine what sort of cunt you are if you want to impede on someone else's life?
Probably an impedo, to be fair.
Fucking nuts, man.
Since I've started to work all this stuff out, Jason, the one thing I can't work out is that when you put basic things in front of people, they seem to be able to just look through it and say, no, that's not there. What about this? No, I can't see that. I don't understand that, because you know, I always say my mum and dad were bastards because they brought me up to have common sense. And they always said, apply common sense to everything. If common sense says don't do it, don't do it. That was the recommendation. I've lived by that. But is there somebody here? Is it Avon calling or what?
It's my clock.
I don't know what that were. What were it?
It was his clock. I thought it was Avon calling.
Oh,
it's the clock on the wall. It's the clock on the wall. It chimes every quarter of an hour.
Just an answer. Hey, Jason, just an answer to Eve. No, I am not the poor man's Martin Lewis, because I actually help people to get out of debt, not to push it to one side or the other.
That's terrible. I'm
Terrible.
sorry about that, mate.
Terrible. He said it. He's put it in the chat room.
That's terrible thing to say. That you're something to do with that fucking Jewish cunt.
Oh, he's thanking me now. He's thanking me.
Ron.
Listen, Jason, can you still hear me?
Yeah, who's that? Yeah, Chris. Yeah, go on, mate.
Chris, Human Arty, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you, mate. Go on.
Can I just interject what you were saying before about propaganda?
Right, go on.
Right? If you have a propaganda at the facts of the masks and the polymerase chain react tests, all that BS, right? It's all bollocks. Propaganda equals have a proper gander. Don't they see that it's all fucking bollocks, mate? Sorry.
It's what Cockneys do.
Listen, Kerry Mullis is the inventor. Sorry?
I said Cockneys, they have a propaganda. That's something.
Of course they do, lad. But
You mean have a
football
butchers?
shite now, so we're all right.
We're butchers, yeah.
Do we need to? Do we
Yeah,
need
but,
a little
you
bit
know what I
more?
mean?
Do we need a little bit more to from your tea towel that's there on the side of your Weber? Is that your is that to go with your football thing?
You know about me now?
Yeah, you've got a tea towel sat next to you.
Yeah, it's me. It's for when I have my tea.
All right. I just wondered what we're under it. That's all.
No, it's
Right.
just something to wipe my hands on if I've got something that I'm finger picking at.
Right. I'll tell you what. Let's have one last word here before I go to bed because my hands are. I've got I've got gloves on and everything. So we'll start with Chris. Chris, give us your last a word for this evening.
Okie dokie. Right. Like I said before, the real pandemic is child trafficking. The real virus is communism. COVID is a distraction. Okay, so I'm going to something now. Mark 9:42. Whosoever shall offend one of these little ones shall have a millstone tied upon his neck, and he shall be cast to the sea.
Sure.
That's it. Because this is no pandemic. Child trafficking. Company manners equals. Well, listen, I'm telling you now. So that's my last word. Going down. All the governments are going down. Okay, this is the Great Awakening, not the Great Reset. Klaus Schwab, they're already gone. We're being shown something, and it's not nice, obviously. Collateral damage, obviously, but that's how I see it from my perspective. Anyway, good night. Good night, new being, Dinny. Good night, Webby, Ron. Good night.
Hi, Chris.
Jason.
Night, Chris.
News, but that's my perspective anyway. That's how we get it. All right.
And thanks for bringing it on.
Adios.
Thanks for bringing it on, Chris. Right. So we can all listen to it.
You're welcome.
And we'll get on with Ron. Ron.
I just want to comment about Webby's cat. Ain't called One Eye, is it?
Nah. She's called Monkey.
All right. No, I was going to say, just I'd like to say a couple of points.
Say that again, Chris.
No, sorry. I just said I thought Webby's cat was called Bobby Fowler.
Right, go on.
Who's ready to go on? Who are you talking to? It's Ron's turn. Ron's not
That's what I mean. It's Ron's turn, but he interrupted, didn't he? He said, "Oh, it's Robbie Fowler." Or was it? What's his name's Robbie Fowler. So you remember? Right, go, Ron.
I was going to say a couple of points. One about I did talk to the woman in the butchers. We've got a really good butchers here, and they're all walking around with masks on. And I said to her, I haven't worn a mask in a year. I said, how are you going to feel when you found out you've been scammed? And she looked at me and she said, well, that's your opinion. And the other thing is, somebody was asking in the chat about census. I've been using the get out of debt free, not dressy, not known, and I put on it not today, thank you, and sent it back.
Just don't even do that. Listen, don't like that, right? You don't like that. No, you get this lull and they say, "Oh, do three fucking letters and then we send it back and do that." Don't. What you do, right, is when it comes through your fucking letterbox and it says, "Oh, this is your council tax bill for a year," you tear it up, you chuck it away. That's it. That's all you have to do. All these lowell things, you tear them up, you chuck them away. You don't need them.
I just like sending them back. It's a bit like tennis. They serve to me, I'll serve it back.
Well, if you want to play games, but if you just want to just get rid of them.
Well, no, you won't, will you? They'll just keep going on and on and on.
It's your thing, it's your gig. It's your money. I mean, you want to play games with him. All I do is chuck them in bin. And I might get one more. I chuck that in bin, and that's it. Never get out again. Sorry, go on, run.
That's it. Yeah. No, I was going to say, I keep fighting a great fight. I go out when I want to go out, and I do what I want to do when I want to do it. People keep saying, "Oh, well, which Boris has let us out?" I said, "You go out any time you want." Eh?
Where are you from, Ron?
Just north of London.
Make sure you're home by 6 p.m.
But now I'm going out as well. I'll tell you the truth. You know when they say you can stop wearing masks, I'm going to start wearing one. Yeah, you know when people keep telling you to do things, you just... But somebody said, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" I said, "This is my mask."
You can't wear a mask with that beard, mate. I mean, the masks are useless anyway. But to put it on with that beard, it would be... I mean, how can you be more than useless? The mask is useless anyway because a virologist that I spoke to equated it to if it was airborne, which it isn't, but if it was airborne, it would be the equivalent of putting chicken wire round your garden to keep out mosquitoes. That's the equivalent of wearing these stupid fucking masks.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen though? I kept on saying to people before that I'd save up and buy a gun and a horse before I got a mask, because you can't have a mask without a gun or a horse, can you? So what's going to happen is as soon as they stop where it say you don't have to wear a mask anymore, I'll say just when I've got the money together just to buy a horse and a gun.
Why do you think they made guns illegal in this country? Just think about it.
Because they know. Yeah.
That's a rhetorical question.
Illegal to own in this country unless you've got some sort of fucking license that restricted from where you could fucking shoot it to and what you could do with it. And it had to be locked away in a fucking... And fuck me, I got shot at with a fucking gun in 1997. A 12 bore. And fucking luckily they missed me head. Completely missed my head and all went onto the wall. Well, this is why they've done it. This is why they've done it.
Well, yeah.
Nobody is going to be fucking, when they come round with fucking tasers, they're not going to be happy going, let's just say to them, right, I'll tell you what you should do, right? We live in a democracy. I'll tell you what you should do. What you should do is you should go on all Jippo camps first.
No, they've no prayer of that, mate.
Exactly. Go all fucking Jippo camps first, and when you've done them, when you've sorted them out, and got all them injected and everything, and we've got proof for it because we need to know. Because I'm not going to believe you because you're a bunch of fucking lying cunts. But once we know that that's all done, then that's it. We'll have ours done. But they won't. They won't do that.
Have you seen the false needles?
They won't do anything. All they'll do is they'll say, I saw her on the fucking Discovery Plus fucking advert, and it said the one bloke said, "No one is safe until we're all safe," and I thought to myself, the fuck. How are we all going to be safe? It doesn't matter what you put into place, what you do. We aren't all going to be safe, are we? We aren't all going to be vaccinated, right? But that's what he was saying. We're not going to be safe until we're all safe. I mean,
I was going to say, you're only as good as your immune system, aren't you? If you weaken your immune system by keep taking these dodgy stuff, you're going to be all over the place, aren't you? Because it's not tested. That's one reason why I don't want it. Is because it's not tested. I don't want to be.
I don't want it because I trust myself. I trust my own. I trust my own system. Right? I've never had a fucking flu jab. I'm flu jab guy. I'm flu jab guy. I've only got one leg and I've had 2 heart attacks and fucking other ischemias and all that sort of shit. So I'm fucking flu jab guy, right? So they're always fucking ringing me up saying, "Hey, having your flu jab?" Now I always say no, right?
I know they're ringing me up.
So they rung me up and asked me if I were going to be a COVID vaccine. I said no, and they said, "Oh, well, why?" I says, "Well, who are you?" And they said, "Oh, we're just admin on." And I said, "Well, why would I be telling you? Why would I be telling you?" So they come round and they come round to the house and they say, "Okay, you need to have this this vaccine." I said, "I'm not having a vaccine. There's no vaccine I'm having." I said, "For fuck's sake, you were AIDS 1980 fucking 79, 80. No fucking vaccine now. But you got a vaccine for this fucking thing."
I say they haven't cured the cold, have they? They haven't cured the common cold. They haven't cured flu. They haven't cured cancer.
Cured fuck all. They never cure fuck all. It's all about managing stuff. It's all about managing things. It's not about curing it. It's about managing it. So all they're doing is they're managing me until I die, right? I've got. I know they're managing me until I fucking die, and they can't kill me because I won't have a fucking vaccine. They can't kill me because I won't fucking go into hospital about these hands.
Jason, did you see the interview with Geert van den Bosch that's on YouTube at the minute?
Who?
Geert van den Bosch.
What's it about?
Right, well, Geert van den Bosch is one of the top virologists and vaccine manufacturers, if you like, because that he makes vaccines. He's worked for Pfizer, he's worked for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations on vaccines. He's the one who's come out and said this COVID vaccine is the kit. It's the best kit that's ever come out, right? But he's banging the drum about the fact that this COVID-19 vaccine isn't a vaccine because it's a messenger RNA. vaccine, right? So the messenger RNA is going to produce antibodies. So what he's saying is we're injecting people with a vaccine that's going to produce antibodies to something they haven't been infected with. And what he states is that's going to create a pathway for the infection to sail straight through, because how he described it, I mean, they more or less described it as an American football type format. But if you take a back four of defenders, they're your immune system. But your immune system puts two midfielders in front of that defence, and 98% of all infections are dealt with by the two midfielders. What happens is the antibodies that's going to be created by the vaccine are going to be too big for those midfielders. So they'll step in front of the midfielders and they'll create a path for the infection to go straight through, because there's nothing to stop the infection, because the antibodies are already there for an infection that hasn't happened yet. And what he states is, because this is, he uses the term global, and I have to go, whoa, worldwide, but what he's stating is, worldwide, we have got millions of people who've got an injection that is basically going to suspend their immune system if they come into contact with any infections. And once they do, the second dose of the mRNA is going to produce pathogens to do that infection. But the antibodies have already let the infection through. And I'm going, that makes too much fucking sense. I don't understand it, but somebody who does is explaining it to me in such simple terms. I can't not understand it. And it's the same with everything that's gone along this line. If you don't understand it, that's one thing. Go and look. If you then get an understanding, you will change your perspective. It's automatic. The problem that you've got is nobody's going looking at that, and nobody's expecting the government to not give us the truth. And that is like sheer stupidity these days, isn't it?
Ron?
Yeah, stupidity, yeah. I was going to say Doris is a waste of space. I don't know how I didn't vote for him.
He's a puppet. He's nothing. He has nothing to say. He has no input. He's got no brevity. There's nothing with him. He's something to look at and call names to. And people have got to get that understanding. Labour, Conservative, both saying, let's move on. Please, let's grow up.
But there's no signs of it growing up, is there? Webby, I mean, what are you now? You're in your 60s. I'm in my 50s. Ron, I suppose, is about 90, something like that. We've all been through different eras of what's been going on, and it's always been the same, hasn't it? It's always, but particularly for sorry, Ron, I can't see behind your beard, so I can't see how old you look. You might be about fucking 14 for all I know. Webby, and for me and you, we've sort of grown up in the same era. We've grown up with this in the same place where whatever happened in your, let's just say whatever happened in your little fucking town happened in my little town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though we were fucking hundreds of miles apart, so I mean, how do we get to this? How do we get to this fucking where we're just allowing ourselves to just be fucking usurped. I mean, people are fucking, you know, scared to have parties and things and people at their house. And Ron, I'd like your your input on this as well. So what do you think? How are we doing?
There's not enough of us. There's not enough people that have turned around and said, hold up a minute, there's something wrong here.
I agree with
Don't you
that.
think?
Yeah,
There's not enough.
But they don't need to be too many, though, does there?
No, indeed.
No.
There's a critical mass. There's a critical mass of people, and it doesn't need to be everybody. It just needs that small amount. The problem that you've got, I don't know if Ron experiences this, but over the last 10 years, I've gone from people calling me so many names and saying, you know, I had people 10 years ago walking past me with tinfoil on their heads going, mandatory vaccines, Webby, dickhead. Here we are. Is that because I'm so clever? Is that because I'm channeling something? No, it's because I read what they wished they could do. I just didn't think I'd see it in my lifetime. I really didn't think I'd see it in my lifetime where people who I really love and care about have gone and had this vaccine. And I don't know what to say to them because they've told me that they've researched it enough and they think they're comfortable to have it. And my reaction is, if you've researched this, there's no way you could be comfortable to have this vaccine. Yeah, I just don't see how you can. Yeah, we can talk about cognitive dissonance and we can talk about how we're going to balance things up. It's a man-made protein that's going to tell your immune system to react or not react in a certain way. That's genetic modification. I don't care which way you want to splice it.
What happens when you get into a conversation like that with somebody that you're in a relationship with, and they're going to go off and do it, and you're so much against it?
I can tell you categorically, Jace. They went and had it 2 weeks ago. They went and had the injection 2 weeks ago after saying they'd investigated it. Since then, because I can't change the mind, I've sent them that.
Yeah, me know.
And shut down now. Your immune system is gone. Let's wait and see what happens. And I'm like, oh, I don't understand that, because if I'm waiting to see what a vaccine is going to do to me, that makes me go, it's like they're trialing this. And then you realise when they're saying the trials end in 2023, you go, hang on a minute, the vaccine rollout lasts till 2023. Are you trialing this on us? Oh, hell. Oh yeah, you are. I don't know what to say to these fucking idiots anymore, because these fucking idiots, some of them are people I really, really love, really, really care about. But I've got to be wrong. I'm still the fucking dickhead. I'm still the cunt who's telling them things that they don't want to hear.
Don't want to hear. They don't want to hear, no.
No.
I mean, I was always the troublemaker.
Yes.
I was always the troublemaker. You know, they used to turn and say to me, oh, you're always, you know, and this is family. You know, and then when you turn around and said you was told. Yeah, and it just turned around and said, well, whatever. You you can't make it. But the other thing I was going to suggest, where a lot of people go on as well, is where they turn around and say, education, we don't have an education system, we have an indoctrination system. You know, a system where they actually tell you what you can do. You can go to the toilet. I mean, all right, you said I was 90. I'm actually 63 this year, right? But when I went to school, you couldn't go to the toilet unless they let you go to the toilet. I just used to get up and walk out and go to the toilet. But I mean, like I said to you before, I mean, I have told you before that I got kicked out of school when in junior school. Not many people would get kicked out, expelled from junior school. But I did a lot of things, you know, some things weren't my fault, but other things were. But as I say, and then they couldn't find a school for me. They sent me to a nutter school because they thought I was off my trolley. And then I ended up in a naughty boys school, you know, where they get all the naughty boys and they put them all in one place and keep them away from the rest of everybody else, because you can influence people then, can't you?
Yeah,
so
but then
those are the things.
Well, then all the naughty boys can consult with all the other naughty boys and come up with naughtier things. You know, I work with criminals. I see how that all can, you know, exasperate and go tenfold. The
I'm just going to agree with Webby. I mean, it was Webby that said you were 90 years old, and I've got to agree with Webby that you know how he's doing it and he's portraying it at the moment is quite right. I like you get like a school for crime, in you know, inverted when you've got young kids. And they're put into punishment like Borstals and stuff like that. Then it's like a university for crime. But you know more.
I was going to say, yeah. I was going to say the school I went to was one down from a Borstal. If I did anything wrong in that school, it was Borstal for me. So I buckled down a bit, but. But you know, we've all played the game, you know, like, well, you get married, get kids, you know, and you've done all this. I mean, I've done it all, you know. I'm not married anymore. I'm not going to go down that route again.
Well, we were going to ask you to marry us.
Well, that's another thing as well. You know when you
he's more your age.
Yeah, you know when you were talking about licenses, and Webby knows this. A license is permission to do something that's illegal.
Yeah, that's what's getting me about this at the minute, Rob. They're talking about banning all these protests. So they're saying that you can't legally. Well, legally, they can ban protests because protest is legal acceptance. So when you want to protest or something, you go and buy a license. Apply for a license to set up a protest. Well, the best analogy I ever had was Rob Menard's analogy. Now, Rob is a big common law advocate from Canada, if you didn't know who he was. But Rob Menard said the equivalent of protest is shitting in your bed, rolling about in it and covering yourself in shit, but calling it chocolate sauce. It's got no beneficial use to you whatsoever. It has no detrimental use to you either. When you go for a protest, it's like a child at 8 o'clock being told you're going to bed. The child has a legal right to protest, to stamp their feet and say, I'm not going to bed. Where does the kid end up? The kid ends up in bed. And that's exactly what a protest is. You can protest and cry and kick and everything, but you're still having it. So you have to find a way to reject what is being pushed forward. When the agenda that's being pushed forward is all civil, then you have to go to constitutional. And to get a constitutional argument, you have to address the legislature and the executive, and then get the judiciary to look at it. Because you can point and say, look, the executive is out of fucking hand here with the legislation that they're passing. And nobody's doing that because they're applying for protests. They're going banging pants to wake up and grow up. Take some fucking responsibility.
Yeah, that's the main problem. I mean, I was going to ask you about Aedis, Jason.
I spoke to him the other day, and he was fine. He was obviously he can't speak, probably speaks like I do when people ask me questions. He's doing okay. He's doing well. So he's all right. I spoke to him. We had a bit of a chat the other day. So yeah, he's good.
Is he still swearing at people and calling people?
Oh God,
he is, isn't it?
But you know, I use this quote quite a lot. I'll try and educate younger people if they talk to me. You remember that quote he had on his wall? To achieve greatness, stop asking for permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still got that on his wall. He'll still have it on his wall. Listen, the thing is with him is that there's an art to being his mate. To being a good friend to him. There's an art to it, and you've got to stick to that art. And if you don't, then you fall into rubble. But he's doing good. He's doing well.
I'll tell you what, Jason. The last text I got off him was 2 kisses, and that was because I went, "You're in my prayers, mate. I know you can't. I know I'm not going to get much of an answer off you, but I need you to know you're in my prayers. God bless." I got 2 kisses back.
Yeah,
I knew
that's
a big thing for him, that, and I'm happy with that, man.
Yeah, he told me about that. That were a big thing. He likes to. He, like anybody does who's in that situation, they like to think that people are thinking about them. I've not been doing this show for quite a while. And I've had people saying, "No, come on, I need proof of life and all this sort of stuff." And all it is my hands. That's all it is, and I'll be doing it. Fucking great. And Aid's same. It's just so that he knows that people are on his side, waiting for him to come back and say, every day's a fucking really every day's a school day. He said that a lot. Yeah, you say every day's a school day, and you also, what else did you say? Fucking tons.
You say you're a cunt. But the beauty of it is, Jason, when you said to me how long you've been left, you automatically think that lad's never going to come back. He's never going to be there. And then you get a text message off him. You might have even said, "Hey, listen, I'm thinking of you, you fucking bellend," and you get a kiss back. You know that he's seen that, he's analysed it, processed it, and he's given it you back. That's all I could ask from somebody who's gone through something like that.
Yeah, and that's what he deserved.
Well, I was thinking about you, Jason.
That's what he deserved. So we're all thinking about him.
Yeah.
We're all. I'm talking to him every now and again. but I like to do it every now and again.
Well,
I mean,
let's be fair, Jason. If you rang him or tried to speak to him every day, he'd tell you to fuck off and leave him alone. He would.
yeah, of course it would, yeah.
So you've got to play the game. But the thing is, for me, even though I'm not a close friend to Aid like you are, I still had to let Aid know that he was in my prayers, he was in my thoughts. Even though we're not that connected, he needed to know that some dickhead on the other side of the don't know what all that was.
That was me.
I think it might have been Jesus or something.
No, it was me. What happened was I lost my internet connection and I reconnected, and then it brought the sound back, so I'd muted it. You know what I mean? You can't beat this new technology, not unless you've got a big stick. I'll tell you one thing.
You were saying, Webber, about AD. That you didn't know him really. You're not really. You've never met him, I don't think.
No, I'm not. I know him, but I don't know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But you sent me a message, and then you got one back, and then that made you feel like this guy.
It makes me feel like I've at least gone. Hey, I don't really know you that well, even though Aid will go. Of course, you fucking know me. I don't know him as well as what you know him. I'm not interacting with him as many times as you. But the man has got a good heart and he's got a good mentality, because when he's wrong and you can show him that, he's not conceited to say you're a dickhead. He'll go, oh, you fucking showed me something there. I'm going to have to look at that. He might even call me a few names while he looks at it. But the man is man enough to come back and go, maybe I looked at that and I think you've got a point. He's always done that with me. Since he interviewed me on Raconteurs News 2, when he interviewed me on that, he was always the same. He never met me, never spoken to me, but he was the same age then. And I'm going back 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
And he's the same age. He never changes. And that is the man that, or the mentality and what I appreciate. If you don't know something and you get told something, you go, okay, I've got new information. Let me check this stuff out. Rather than, that doesn't resonate with me, you're a dickhead. That's not Aid. And that is why he's good at interviewing people and talking to people. And that's all that this is. I mean, I always said to you when I was trying to be like the second man in Raconteurs News and stuff like that. I'm not as good as you. I don't interview people very well. I don't know what to do about that. I have conversations. I talk to people. That's what I want to do. I can't interview people. I don't know that format. So it was very alien to me when we started to do all that. And Aid kind of helped me out with that. You helped me out with it. Andy helped me out with it. But it's at the end of the day, it still doesn't feel right to interview somebody. I'd rather have a conversation, which is just my way. And Aid always, how he portrayed things was he'd have some questions, but then the questions would just go and we'd have a conversation. And I went, well, that's why I don't start with questions, because it always goes the way it is. And then obviously when all this happened, and I was as worried as you, Jason, because of the length of time that he was alone type thing. You think about stuff like that and you go, wow, how this. The factor is he sends me 2 text messages. I'm waiting for him to call me a bell end. I know he's back to normal. But the fact that he texted me back, it was only 2 X's which he could have managed. He might not be able to manage a word or a sentence. But the fact is that he was there to text back, to acknowledge that I said, you're in my prayers because for whatever reason. He's a good man. He gets information out there. But fundamentally, he's a man. He's a brother.
You got twice as many fucking kisses as I did. I only got one.
Yeah, I've had one in the past. It was only the second time when I went, "You're in my prayers." He texted me back with 2 kisses.
Top man, listen, top man. He's a fucking somebody I can't even tell you. You know, I could tell you, but you just like call
I'll
me a
tell you what
wanker.
we'll do, Jace. I'll tell you what we'll do. When he's feeling up to it, we'll wheel him in, this paraplegic that can't speak, we'll wheel him in and we'll take the piss out of him for an hour. Should we do that?
Yeah, we'll do that, yeah. In fact, we'll fucking change his name legally to Stephen Hawking.
Every time he answers, it's yes. No, I'm looking forward to him being back, and I think he will. I really do think he will.
He certainly will. He certainly will. Listen,
he tries to. I reckon he'll probably try and do too much before he should, and that's where we can.
I don't think he would. I think it.
You know, you're talking about kids.
Yeah.
I've fathered 5, but I lost 2.
Oh. Oh dear.
One was a cot death in 1982, and the other one was a late abortion because it wasn't right. But I've got 2 girls and a boy, and the girl will be
God bless.
42 this year.
God bless.
I picked too early. I think that's where I went wrong.
I think where I went wrong is I hadn't got a fucking clue what life was. I think that's where
that was that as well.
I got taught life was a certain way, and I went that way, and I fucked everything up because I thought I knew everything. And then by the time everything had collapsed and fell all around me, and I was trying to work things out for real, and then I did work things out, and I went, well, I've never known anything in this fucking world. And that's compared to the 2 people, my mum and dad, who I trusted the most to give me that information. My mum taught me how to duck and dive and dodge in between the economic system. That set me up to play in the system. But it's like playing Monopoly. If I don't know all the rules, I'm going to end up bankrupt. But even though I might know all the rules, the banker always wins. What more lessons do you need in life?
You don't need any more lessons, and we're going to finish there. I'm knackered. I've been drinking.
Say your first name or second name?
Sorry?
Good.
You said you're knackered. I said, is that your first name or your second name?
Jason Knacker.
Jason Knackered. All right, I'm going to end. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Webby, for.
Cheers, Jason.
It's been great tonight. Honestly, I just wanted to get back and just show people I'm still here.
I can see what you're doing, mate. I'm glad you've showed your face. I know you're not in the groove. You're not back, but I'm glad you've shown your face. I was worried about you because I've had a few messages about you, and like I said, I'm glad that you've come on tonight and you've shown your face. I'm hoping you get in there soon.
I'm getting there. Cheers, brother. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Webby. See you soon.
Take care, pal.
Get out.